Hey guys, Crunch here from Crunch Team. Today I am going to be reading the second chapter to my Freedom Through Sorrow story I've been writing. Let's get started. Chapter 2. Around 3 years have passed since the news of Lucy's suicide. I am now 15 years old, and I have never forgotten the words from Jacob's mouth. I never will. 3 years I have worked furthermore and waited until the rebel forces came to our hometown of Riosted. I finally had my prayers answered. There was a large knock on the front door. 3 loud bangs forcefully struck the wood. Bang, bang, bang. A soldier shouted from the other side of the door. "We are under attack. Grab only what you can carry and take it to the back side of the town, where the evacuation is being held. Leave all slaves behind." You'd think this would make it easier for me, with no one keeping me from leaving all of Imperial society. I could just bail and have the protection of rebels' care. However, this action made things more complicated. Although Jacob wanted to stay behind and come with me, he also naturally didn't want to leave his own father behind. Yes, he did have a grudge against his racist father, but children are naturally bonded to their parents no matter what horrible things they do. And I have never had my parents in my life, so Jacob was my only role model. I didn't want to leave him either, but what would I do if he wanted to stay with Gabriel? Beg to go with them? Just go straight back to being a peasant? Turn my back on the one chance I have to be a free woman for the rest of my life? To be honest, he would accept anyway, because slaves are valuable possessions. As Gabriel was packing and preparing to leave, Jacob just stood there, bloodshot eyes, torn into a civil war himself. He didn't know what to choose. His own terrible father, or a helpless slave with no chance of surviving on her own. For the average person, the choice would seem obvious, but the average man has never seen such horrors. They've never had to bail on their own parents just to help themselves or someone else. Your love for your parents is eternal, even if you don't realize it. Sometimes you never truly realize until your parents are taken away from you forever. I thought I knew he would make the right choice. But I watched in horror as he opened his mouth, tears running down his face. His eyes looked right at me, while he slowly lifted his head to look at me straight in the face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't explain how much my father means to me. He grabbed his bag that his dad had packed for him and ran out the door, grabbing whatever he could on the way out. The door slammed shut. Muffled sounds of crowds roaring in fear and panic. Tears ran down my face. I stepped back against the wall and slowly fell to the floor at the end of my living room. He actually did it. He left me. He was shaking and made a cowardly choice, one he'd regret for the rest of his life. I was heartbroken. My chest felt like a brick. My stomach twisted and turned. He just left me behind. I always wanted to start this life with him. To start a world where our people are equal no matter the race. To start a family with him. To do it without him was heartbreaking. I started sobbing out and crying in vain. "Why?" I cried. "Why would you just leave me to fight my battles alone? Why just leave me to venture without you?" I just sat there, waiting for the battle to end.